Well, hello everybody. My name's Making Sang, first name May King, and today we've got the incredible Advita Patel with us from Comms Rebel. How are you, Advita?
I'm good, thanks, Making. Really good.
Now, we're here to talk about your incredible hybrid conference that's happening on June the 14th. Why don't you tell the viewers what to expect?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, the conference is called Unleash Your Inner Rebel, and it's about doing things differently in the world of work. And it's also to help people build connections and build a community around rebelliousness, which sounds a little bit scary, I know, but it is about doing things differently and pushing that status quo a little bit as well.
Now, let's talk about the hashtag Inner Rebel 2022.
And I've got my Inner Rebel badges on as well today. My Inner Rebel made me do it.
That's amazing. So the attendees are going to be unleash their inner rebel with the world of comms. Is that right?
Well, it's a bit wider than comms. It's about exploring the way we approach challenges at work. You know, we've gone through quite a lot in the last couple of years, and it's demonstrated that people are now wanting to see change happen, whether that's within how we work, the hours we work, the where we work, how we work, you know, how we're treated at work. People are becoming less tolerant of some of the stuff that used to happen pre-pandemic and pre-George Floyd, and you know, the inclusion and belonging side has really exploded as well. And I was a little bit, I know it sounds really bad, but I was a bit tired of kind of going along to some conferences where we were hearing from the same type of people and the same type of conversations and topics that I've been hearing for the last 20 years of my career. And I felt like we were now in a position where we just had to shift things a little bit, and we had to bring on board people who could help us think differently about how we approach work, could help us explore our creativity a bit more and our innovative ability. And, you know, as much as I love case studies and hearing case studies from organizations, it often isn't what we need, right, to help us bring a different type of thinking in the organization that we work in. And even if you work in the same industries, it's not a carbon copy. So I wanted to bring people on stage who were not comms, you know, who worked in different industries, who were experts and specialists in that area of work, who could help the people in the room, who will be communication practitioners, PR practitioners, HR practitioners, leaders, you know, of businesses. I'm trying to bring a group of people together who, you know, work together in organizations, but when it comes to events, don't necessarily work together in an event capacity.
Now, let's talk about your speakers, because you were very mindful of not having those same conversations, as you said. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the speakers that are going to be talking on the day.
So we're kicking off the day with the speaker who inspired this event, and that is Matthew Syed. So those of you who don't know Matthew Syed, he's written several books, but the book that inspired me was a book called Rebel Ideas. And it was when I read this book over the summer last year, I realized that if I wanted to see change in work and I wanted to, you know, inspire others to think about things differently, we have to take action. Right. And Matthew's book talks about that. He talks about stories of people who didn't think differently or didn't surround themselves with different types of thinking, and they face catastrophic issues in their work and what they were doing. And it just made me think, actually, do you know what? I'm a bit tired. I'm a bit tired of complaining about some events that are not inclusive, events that are not representative, events that are not helping us to thrive, events that are just, you know, a money-making kind of scheme, and it's not allowing the people in the room to connect, like I said, and build communities and help each other along as well, because that's really important. So I reached out to Matthew's people, as you do, and luckily for me, he had availability on that day and he said he would do it. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So Matthew Syed is going to kick it off, and he's going to talk about the diversity of thought and revolutionary ideas and how they can make a difference to what we do. So I'm excited about Matthew. And then we've also got people like Shioni Lin, who is a specialist in behavioural science and behavioural insights. So she's going to talk about how that can impact how we work. We've got Tom Pullen, who's going to talk about innovation and how to have an innovative mindset so we can be a little bit more creative about how we work as well. I've got the incredible Nicole McGill-Higgins, who's going to talk about belonging. And what I love about Nicole is that she isn't just, talking about diversity, equity, inclusion as the terminology that we often, surround ourselves with, but she's going to talk about belonging for everybody and how that looks in organizations. So she's going to talk a little bit about that. We've got the wonderful Sharon Amusu, who's going to close the event for me. And she is, I watched Sharon at an event a few years ago, and she blew me away completely. She's just an incredible individual, and she's just got this presence about her. And I wanted the event to be left on a high, and I wanted people in the room to be, without being really cheesy and high-fiving each other, but, having that kind of feeling of, I can do this, I can help change happen, I can make a difference. I can make a difference to the people that I work with, and I can make a difference to the organization that I support or the clients that I work with. And Sharon's just got this natural ability to help us think about inclusive leadership and influential leadership and how we can have impact. And then alongside all of these incredible speakers, we've also got people who are going to be hosting panels. We've got Claire Ebery, who's going to talk about purpose over profit. We've got we've got Jackie Carter, who's going to talk about future and what does that look like. And we've got incredible guests supporting these panels. And then we've got the incredible Sam from Innocent, the smoothies brand, who's going to talk about his leadership journey and what that looks like. And he's going to zoom in. So this is a true hybrid event where we're going to have people on screen and having that conversation, because I want to show that you can have an incredible event with people in the room and people online as well. And that's what true hybrid and online event is about.
Now, I do want to talk about that because you scouted for the best hybrid platform for this conference, because we're all a bit zoomed out, let's face it.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about, people who aren't able to attend on the day, they're still going to have an immersive experience. And that was really important to you, wasn't it?
It was really important to me. We are all zoomed out and teamed out, and we're fed up of just kind of looking at a digital screen. But I also recognize that some people don't have choices in that way, right? So some people don't have that option. If you don't live locally, or the event is in Manchester, so if you can't travel to Manchester, or you're unable to travel to Manchester, or you're just keeping yourself protected, because we're still in times of pandemic, we're dealing with COVID and everything still. And I didn't want anyone to miss out. And I also didn't want people who can be in person to feel that they have to stay static in one room for the entire day. I wanted them to have that option to be, out and about. If they want to go for a longer walk at lunchtime, they can still watch the event live streamed on their devices. If they need to switch off and catch up on work, they can catch up on via on demand, which will be available up to 6 months post event. The platform is also a community builder, so we'll be having conversations online. People will be, it's an app as well, so you can have it on your any device you want. You can have it on your desktop, you can have it on your phone, and it's about choices, and that was really important to me. So people who are tuning in from home can experience this interactive conversation. They can be zoomed in on the room if they want to. If you fancy asking a direct question to the speaker, or you can converse with people in the room as well, and vice versa. So you can do an internal FaceTime, which is incredible. There's an online social media platform in there where you can share stories and connect with other people from not only across the UK, but globally as well. And that's my hope for the platform, which is why I invested what I have, because that was, it's important that you don't miss out just because you're not there in person.